Yes, f of x plus h minus f of x, awesome, over minus x, of course. Of course, we are going to simplify these two. And then the simplified form of f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h. This is this. dq, the difference quotient. What does it mean? Okay, it's fantastic. So what? What is the meaning of this? It means the rate of change of function f of x between a and b. The rate of change of function f of x between points a and b. Rate of change of function f of x between a and b. And now I would like us to look at problems 71 through 92. I would recommend do not choose outside what is recommended by the department, only because it will take us longer and I will not put it on the test. So let's stay within the range that they recommend.
The previous one is also 252.
You mean
This last one is
yes.
what number?
You mean this one?
Yeah.
This is an explanation. This is not a problem per se. Good. So I would like to choose 78. Are you okay with 78? Yes? 78 on page 252. Let's take a look. F of x equals x squared minus 5x plus 8. I am not asking you to remember the difference quotient. Once you write it 3 times, you will probably automatically remember it, but it will be given to you on the test. So I am asked to find the difference quotient for f of x. This is the requirement. I am given a function, and this is the function x squared minus 5x plus 8, and I'm specifically told find the difference quotient and simplify it. It will be given to me as the formula. I don't have to memorize it. So I'm going to write the difference quotient is f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h. I know it, but it will be given to me. Perfect. So I'm asked to create this, determine it, and then simplify it fully. So let's look at these pieces. I see a piece here, I see a piece here, and I see a piece here, right? I see 2 terms at the top, and I see a term at the bottom. From these 3 terms, I claim that I have 2 of them, but I claim that I don't have the third one. Which 2 I have? We're talking about 3 pieces. Let me review the pieces with you. F of x plus h, that's one piece. The second piece is f of x, and the third piece is h. Which of the? I'll say it again.
Isn't H?
H, I cannot do anything to it. That's it. H is H. H is given. Which of those 2 pieces I have, and the third one I don't? Yes, absolutely. I have it. It's given to me. So which is the only piece I need to work on first? Very good. So f of x plus h. Can anyone dictate? Remember a long time ago, which appeared, it seems like months ago, we said, when I am given a function, what do I see? What do you see when we are given this function? You see blah squared minus 5 times blah plus 8. What is blah now? X plus h is blah. Very good. So please tell me what to write. Everything squared with parentheses. Without parentheses makes no sense. And then minus. Yes. In parentheses. and plus 8. One more time. This is the blah. I replace the blah, and I replace the blah. Everywhere I see x, I replace it with x plus h. Is this clear for everyone? To everyone. Okay, perfect. Next, I need to simplify this as much as possible. We have an agreement, so what does this mean? Thank you very much. And nobody will ask why the 2, right? Agreed? Awesome. And then? Minus 5x minus 5h plus 8. Okay, now I can say I have all 3 pieces. I determined that most I could do. I determined f of x plus h. I have the function and I have h. Before we put all pieces together, create a difference quotient, and simplify it, I have to give you 2 hints or 2 important pieces of information. First important piece of information, when we upload both the f of x plus h and f of x and combine like terms, all terms without h must go away. It's a must. If they don't, we have an error somewhere. One more time. When we put the 2 pieces at the top together and combine like terms, all terms without h must go away. Maybe some terms with h go away. That's okay. But definitely the terms without h must go away. That's the first piece of information. In all difference quotients for any function, always. The second piece of information, this little h in the denominator must go away, simplifying it with something remaining from the top. One more time, this will eventually go away. The final simplified form may still have h in it, but not this one. Okay, let me repeat. 2 pieces of information, crucial. 1, when we put everything together at the top, all terms without h must go away, must cancel out. Second piece, this h must go away. The final form may still have h in it, but not this one. Ready? So I continue from here. Can anyone dictate? What do I have at the top? Yes, I replaced this by all this. Very good. H squared plus 2xh plus h squared minus 5x minus 5h and plus 8. Remember, this is a minus. I have to distribute the negative sign to all terms in function f of x. Please dictate. Please dictate. Awesome. Let's look for those terms that do not have h, that will eventually cancel out with terms that do not have h. Anything goes away? Very good. Very good. Perfect. How many terms are still left in the problem at the top? Awesome. What do they have in common? Pull it out, please. Tell me what is left in parentheses. Yes? Yes? That's it. 2x plus h minus 5. What do you think I'm going to do next? Right. That was the second hint, the second piece of information. Very good. And the simplified form is this. Any questions, please? That's it?
What do you do with that?
Very good. This is the rate of change of the function between those 2 points. And once I'm given h, thank you. Once I'm given x, I can determine the rate of change of the function between the given points.
How'd you get rid of the square?
Which square?
So see how it says h squared?
This one?
Yes. When you
So
buy-
2x h times 2x is this. H times h is this.
Oh,
H
okay.
times this is this. Better?
Yeah.
Perfect. I think we should work on one more problem and move on. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Which one? Okay. 80 or 86? Make up your minds. 86?
Yeah.
80 is the same. Okay, let's do 86. So we have f of x, negative 3x squared plus x minus 1. Now this should go a little bit faster. I know I don't have what piece? F of, that's one I don't have. So negative 3 in parentheses. I have to write it out first. You're way ahead of me, which is awesome. But I like to write it out first.
X plus h
Very good.
squared.
Perfect. Plus?
X plus h minus 1.
Yes. There is no need of parentheses because this is positive. There is no number. Good. So can anyone just square x plus h for us first? Do not distribute yet. I want everyone to see what we're doing. X squared plus, very good, plus h squared plus x plus h minus 1. Very good. Now we have to distribute negative 3. Can anyone dictate when we distribute negative 3? Yes? Very good.
3h2.
Now you see why I tortured you, quote unquote, the first day of classes with that agreement so we can move on, so we don't have to do this? Okay, perfect. I apologize for doing that, but it's a game that I'm trying to work with students. Okay, on. Okay. I have to write, I copy the difference quotient first, so I don't make a mistake when I replace. I have to see it in front of me. It's right there. I'm looking at it. And now, please dictate. Remember now, we are here. You must distribute negative 1 to all terms in f of x. Sign, please.
Plus
3x squared.
minus x plus 1.
Very good. Now what has to happen? Mandatory for all difference quotients for any function. Not yet?
Get rid of all the ones that have it.
Good. Which ones? Done?
Minus 1 plus 1.
Minus 1 plus 1, done? Done. How many terms are left?
3.
How many, and what do they have in common? Please tell me what to write in parentheses, and how many terms will I write? I have to write 3 terms. That's the reason why I asked you how many terms are left. Good. Ready? Negative 6x minus 3h. That's it. That's the reason why I asked you how many terms are left, because you have to have 3 terms at the end. What goes away?
H.
So as you noticed, both conditions are fulfilled. All terms without h go away at the top, and eventually h from the bottom goes away. The final simplified form still has h in it, but that's okay. And this is it.
So you write that as dq equals that.
Yes, the difference quotient equals this, and then I replace each piece by what it equals to. I recommend this method because I'm hoping you're not going to forget. Would you get full credit if everything is okay and you don't write this and this? Yes. But I think that's easy to follow. I know what you're doing. You wrote dq, you copied the formula, and then you plugged it in. It's also easier for me to follow your thoughts. But I accept other methods, and I prefer the complete presentation. And then I know, okay, she knows, he knows, move on. So I grade something else. Okay, I would like to review 2.3 and 2.4 with you. This is all about lines. I know I'm going to stop in about 15 minutes. Okay, lines. We already reviewed the slope. If we're given 2 points, one more time, what is the definition of the slope? Yes, indeed, rise over run. Yes, perfect. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. We have 3 different types of slopes. I should say we have 4 different types of lines. So let's discuss based on the slope. Okay, so the first one looks like this. What kind of trend is this? Right, so then the slope is positive. What kind of trend is this? Decreasing, which means the slope is less than 0. What is this? What is the slope of this line? Yes, or 0. The other one is no slope. This one is 0, right? So this is horizontal. Yes, very good. Undefined. So this is vertical line. Very good. There are 2 equations for lines. Anyone reminds us? Very good. Y equals mx plus b, which is the slope. So slope-intercept, but we really mean y-intercept. Slope y-intercept form. And can anyone give us the second one? Y minus y1 equals, yes, parenthesis, x minus x1. And this is called? Exactly, very good. Point slope. Oops, sorry. Point slope form. There is an L in there, sorry. Perfect. Now, parallel lines. What do we know about the slope or slopes of 2 parallel lines? Yes. So if this line has slope m1 and this line has slope m2, the relationship is m1 equals m2. The 2 slopes must be the same. Very good. Okay, now perpendicular lines. "90 degrees, 4 of them. 90 degrees, 90 degrees, and 90 degrees. Here is M1 and here is M2. What is the relationship now between M1 and M2 if the lines are perpendicular? Negative reciprocal. Very good. M1 equals negative 1 over M2. I personally like to multiply, cross multiply, and say M1 times M2 equals negative 1. This is what I like to remember it by, but it doesn't matter. Same thing. Good, so this was a review from a previous class. So let's look at a few problems. So and also some graphing. On page 267, I don't really see what I'm interested in. So, oh, I do. 1 through 10, I'm sorry. 1 through 10 on page 267. So, let's say number 4. I have -1, 3 and 2, 4. We're asked to determine the equation of the line passing through these points. Find the equation. How do I start? What do I have to do first? Very good. Awesome. Can anyone dictate the slope? Please always label. If you have difficulties with this, please label the points like x1, y1, x2, y2. Point 1 has x1, y1, of course, and point 2 has x2, y2. So, please dictate. I would personally write y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, so my professor knows I know what I'm doing. And then replace them. So 4 minus 3 over 2 minus -1. 2 minus -1. The top is 1, the bottom is 3. Is any of these 2 points the y-intercept? No, the y-intercept will be 0, a number. Good. So don't try this. Will you be able to determine the equation? Yes, but it's like doing this instead of doing this. Nothing wrong. But this is much easier. If you have the y-intercept, always use this. If you have the y-intercept, can you use this? Yes. But there is no reason. This is easier. But now I don't have the y-intercept. I should use this. It doesn't matter which point you use. You can use the first or the second. Always write the equation. Get into the habit of presenting all steps. So y minus y1 equals the slope times x minus x1. I like to write under the equation these numbers. I write under m 1/3. I write under x1 -1. I write under y1 3. And then carefully rewrite it so I don't make a mistake. So, can anyone tell us what to write?
Y minus 3.
Very good. 1/3 x plus 1. I have to solve for y. I will distribute 1/3 x plus 1/3, and I will have to add 3. When I add 1/3 to 3 over 1, I have to find the least common denominator. What is the least common denominator? I'm doing this on the side. What is the least common denominator?
3.
Good. What does this need?
3.
Yes. So it's 1 plus 9. 1 plus 9. 10. 10 over 3. So y equals 1/3 x plus 10/3. That's the equation of the line passing through the given points. Any questions? I would like to look at a word problem and I'll stop. I'm trying to find a nice one here. There are no word problems in and this. So we can appreciate the importance of this. Well, they're none. Just reading from a graph. I was hoping to see something else. Okay. On page 279, 279, 2.4. Problem 10. We're asked to find the equation of a line passing through the point -1, 3 and parallel to the line whose equation is 2, 3x minus 2y minus 5 equals 0. So one more time. Allow me to repeat this. We're asked to find this equation. I'm not graphing specific equation right now. I'm just giving the idea. So I'm asked to find this, the equation of this line. And I know two things about it. I know that it passes through this point. So somewhere I have, on this line, I have -1, 3. And I'm also told that it's parallel to a line whose equation is 3x minus 2y minus 5 equals 0. How do I find the equation of the red line? Yes. So first of all, I do not have the y-intercept. So I'm getting ready for this. Correct? I do have a point which is -1, 3. But I am missing a very important piece of information. What is that very important piece of information that I'm missing?
Parallel line.
Right. So Edrisi said, let's solve this for y. -2y equals -3x plus 5. I moved 3x to the other side and I moved -5 to the other side. So 3x was positive here and moved to the other side being negative. It was negative here and moved to the other side being positive. Now, please do not do this because it's difficult to identify the slope. It is tempting to write this. Don't. Just divide everything, both sides, by -2 term by term. So when I divide this by -2, I get y. When I divide -3 by -2, I get 3/2 x. When I divide 5 by -2, I get -5/2. I have the slope of the green line. What is the slope of the green line? 3/2. So the slope of this is 3/2. Now, do I have the slope of the red line? Yes. What is the slope of the red line? The same, because the lines are parallel. What if they were perpendicular? What would have been the red slope? That's it. So what I have to do is just plug it in. So y minus 3 equals 3/2 x minus -1, x plus 1. And the final step, what do I want? To distribute 3/2 x plus 3/2, and I'm bringing a 3. Again, let's take this addition to the side. So 3/2 plus 3/1, what is the LCD? 2. What do I need to multiply the top of the second one by? Yes, 3 plus 6 is 9. So y equals 3/2 x plus 9/2. Any questions?